I think the uniqueness is that we're taking an abductive, not an inductive approach. So I probably need to explain that. So deductive is if A then B. Inductive is all the cases of A have B associated with them. Abductive is what's the most plausible connection between apparently unconnected things. Now, if you look at most management science, and I put science in strict inverted commas there, or most of the sort of popular textbooks, the recipes, the consultancy approaches, they all take an inductive or a case-based approach. So what they do is they go and study 10 or 15 companies which have a desirable quality, or 10 or 15 governments or departments or whatever. And from that, they abstract a series of what they think are causal factors. And then they say, if you adopt these, you too will have the qualities, you too will be successful. It's the sort of formulaic or recipe book-based approach. And that has a whole series of problems. One is you've got the confusion of correlation with causation. So if a country, for example, wants to increase the number of Nobel Prizes it wins, all it actually needs to do is to increase dark chocolate consumption, because dark chocolate consumption directly correlates per head of population with Nobel Prizes per head of population for about 20 or 30 years. And that's a much better data set than most people have when they draw a conclusion. But it's not a causal link, it's just a correlation. The other one of those I love, by the way, is that suicides by drowning peak whenever a Nicolas Cage movie comes out. And I think that's a coincidence, but I can actually see reasons for that. Right? So that's kind of like one major danger on this. I think the other danger is what you get is this, we're in times of COVID, we're in times of strategic change. You can't actually use what worked for people in the past, or more specifically, what I think worked for people in the past, to mandate what we do in the future. So this use of natural science as an enabling constraint is a real unique for what we do. So we basically look at something like, let's take the classic example. If you give radiologists a batch of x-rays and ask them to look for anomalies, and on the final x-ray you put a picture of a gorilla which is 48 times the size of a cancer nodule, and you put it in plain sight, 83% of radiologists will not see it, even though their eyes physically scan it. And the 17% who do see it come to believe they were wrong when they talk with the 83% who didn't. It's called inattentional blindness. It actually has a major evolutionary advantage because it allows us to make decisions very, very quickly based on partial data sets privileged on our most recent experience. But we do not see things we do not expect to see. So once you realize that, interviewing people, systems analysis, all goes out of the window. And you can therefore say what we need to do is, this is what we do with the human sensor network, is to present that X-ray to our whole workforce and map their responses so we find the 17% before they talk to the 83%. And it's that use of science to tell us what's called a counterfactual space, what we can't do and what won't work, and then we can explore things within that space to actually make a difference. And that allows us to develop methods and tools in which the cases emerge from the tools themselves rather than being retrospectively coherent based on an abstract study of past companies.